Great. Hi, everybody. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to our basement homeschool area. This is where we've been shooting all, or I guess not all, but most of our Monkey Barrel online videos. These kids have been gracious enough to join me again today. And if this is the first video that you've seen of ours, enjoy it. And come on back every other day. We do these videos every day except Saturday.
Yeah, because Saturday would be weird if you did it on Saturday.
Oh, would it? And we always try and do something fun and tie it into a lesson from the Bible. And so we're going to do something like that today as well. I hope you enjoyed Pastor Nate's message. It was a really good one, and we are going to pull something out of it and turn it into something that the kiddos are going to enjoy and understand, and hopefully the parents will enjoy too, because I have a feeling they may need your help today. Today, we are going to also talk about Peter. Do you guys remember Peter from the Bible?
Yeah.
What do you remember about Peter?
Was Jesus his best friend, or was that John?
That was John, but he was one of his friends. What were you going to say, Clark?
Him and Peter and some of his other friends went on a big ship. And there was a huge storm.
Oh yes, and then Jesus calmed the storm, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. It's funny you should talk about them being on a boat, because I thought today we would make boats. Everybody say, ooh. No, just me? Well, I think it's pretty cool, and I hope you guys are going to think it's cool too.
I forgot that we're making boats. I call it a paper airplane.
We are going to do origami. Can you say origami?
Origami.
Yeah, it's hard to say origami when you got muffin in your mouth.
You know, I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna decorate mine.
And so we are going to do an origami boat, and so that's all about making folds in the paper and not cutting and gluing to turn it into something cool. And so you are going to see your rectangle sheet of paper, and then you are going to see it into a boat. So the first thing we're going to do is put it this way down so that the long way is facing up.
Not the short way.
And then we are going to fold it in half.
Like a card. Just like a card. Right,
That's right.
Daddy? Like this? Just
don't
do
just like that.
It's
You
just
got it, bud.
Don't do this.
So you got to try and remember
Unfold
to
it, like not like a card.
get it as straight as you can, because that'll just make it easier for you. And then flip it over so that the stuck together part is on the top and the bottom part opens. Hello, just like he's talking back to you. Hello. And then you are going to fold the top into a triangle. So you want to bring each side
like that
into the middle so that they're touching and roughly the same size. And so that's mine, and you can see mine is not the same size, which is okay. You are going to see that that is going to work out anyways. The most important part that you want to remember is to try and get them to touch.
That's about. This does not.
So that would make a great paper airplane, Clark. But if you saw what I did, we want it to be a triangle.
And then is there a next step?
There is a few more steps. And then we are going to take the mouth that says, hello, and we are going to fold one of the lips up over that triangle. So yeah, that part you're going to fold up. That's right, over that triangle. Up, yep. And then crease it down, and then flip her over, whoop, and do it the same thing on the other side, so that both his lips are folded up. So flip it over onto the other side, and get that one folded up too, so that it meets the lip on the other side at the bottom.
Oh,
that's right.
Now it looks like it.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
And so now that we have this shape, we want to take it this way and open it up. Nope. you gotta watch what I'm doing, right? So you want to open it up like that. And then it folds down that way to make like a diamond. So you're not opening the whole thing up. You're going like that.
That is not a boat. It's getting there. Yeah.
So you're going to open it like that, and you're going to fold it down in onto itself, so that it forms a nice triangle.
Again.
So it looks like this. Hey, why did you undo it?
I have no clue how I do that.
Go on and do it. Follow the steps, you stinker.
What did you say? Now what do I do?
And now that we have this, we are going to fold these
Mouth.
lips up on themselves again.
I'm doing shut it.
Just like we did last time.
Yeah.
On both sides. See it? Fold that part up, and then flip it over and fold that part up.
I have no clue what I'm doing.
That's okay. Yeah, you're doing it.
What?
Fold that part up. And this is why it's important to make sure you do those folds as well as possible, so it makes everything else easier. So there you go. Now you can see you've got a triangle if you hold it like that, right?
Right.
Yep, and then that part goes up too. Yep, just like that. Good job. So it's important when you're doing origami to make sure that your folds are nice and crisp and clean. So you just sort of press down on every fold that you make like that. Okay, and remember how we did this last time?
Yeah.
We opened it up, we took it this way, and we opened it up like that. So do the same thing.
I just
Again.
did it.
Yeah, good. All the way, though, so that they're touching.
Ew, I did it.
Good. Yeah, good job. Now push it all the way so that they're touching. Now this is the crazy part. Now we've got another diamond, right?
Right.
You see how there are some loose flaps here?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see these? So you want to grab those and open them up.
Like that?
Not like that. Like this.
Can
Wrong
you
way.
help me?
This way.
Oh.
See?
Ew, I remember that type of boat.
Mm-hmm. This is
Our
why
dad
your
used to do that with napkins. Yeah.
folds are important.
Okay,
But-
can you help me?
We'll get her done anyways. Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
I have no clue.
Me neither.
Now it looks like...
Jiminy Cricket.
No.
You got like half a boat here.
Now it looks like
Mamma
a
mia.
huge rolling boat.
Yeah, well, you unfolded the whole stinking thing, you stinking stinker.
Dad, now it
That's
looks
okay.
like a huge rolling boat.
So go like that.
Just
Get
follow
those
the
back up.
lines.
That's right. Get that back up.
Excuse me, Daddy.
Yes,
Now
Clark.
this looks like a huge rolling boat.
Yeah, kind of. Except it has a little sail in the middle, right?
That doesn't really look like
Yeah,
a
so
sail.
yours is a bit ripped and a bit,
Damn it.
but that's all right. We'll just force it into our boat. And there we go. We could even just grab a staple here. And there you go. All fixed.
And
So
there's
see,
also-
now we have our boat. And so you can color this boat. This boat will float in water.
Really?
Hold it down like that. Yeah, and we can try that out later. It'll float in water. Eventually it'll sink once the paper gets too wet, but it'll float eventually. See? We got a boat.
I'm gonna draw on mine.
And so you guys can draw on them if you want, and
I'm
we're
gonna make mine.
and we are going to talk about Peter. Okay? Peter and Jesus.
I'm gonna make mine into a racing boat.
No problem. So it probably needs some numbers and stuff, right? So do you guys remember this this story when Peter walked on water?
Yeah. But he actually didn't.
Oh, he did for a little bit. And so they were in a boat on the sea, and it was wavy.
And John ran actually to Jesus. Or was that John or was that Peter?
Well, there was two different times that Peter went to see Jesus, got out of the boat and went to see Jesus. We're going to talk about the first time he did it. And you can find that in Matthew's Gospel. So Matthew chapter 14. Okay? And in Matthew chapter 14, it talks about how the disciples were sent away in a boat down the sea. And then Jesus decided to walk on the water after them. And so, would you be a little scared if you saw somebody walking on water and you were in a boat?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would probably be a little nervous too. And
I would just want to get out and swim to shore.
Or maybe row your boat as fast as it can or something.
Yeah.
To get away. And so what the disciples said was, "Oh my gosh, that's a ghost." And Jesus said, "Oh my gosh, no I'm not. I'm Jesus." And so
oh my gosh, I'm not.
Peter said, "Well, if it's you, Jesus, tell me to come and I'll come to you." And so Jesus said, "Okay, come." So Peter said, "Okay, I'll come." And so Peter gets out of the boat. This is Peter. Iron Peter. Peter gets out of the boat.
Iron Man.
And starts walking on water. And it's like, whoa, I'm walking on water. And he's looking at Jesus, walking towards Jesus. Then he looks down and sees all the waves. It's like, oh, those are scary. So he starts to sink. He starts not being able to walk on the water anymore, right?
Yeah.
And then, do you remember what he says? He says, "Jesus, help me!" It is very cute.
Look.
Tells Jesus to help him. Are you paying attention to the story? And so Jesus says nothing. Because he doesn't have to. He just immediately grabs Peter's hand, lifts him up, and takes him into the boat. And so Peter was really scared. Because
am I on your back?
Well, I'm using him right now. He's Peter right now. And so Peter was really scared, but Jesus saved him. And so a lot of times we talk about that story and say that if we just keep our eyes on Jesus, when the waves are crashing around us, we won't sink. And that's true.
Really?
Yeah. Because Jesus is our firm foundation. That's right, homies. And so that's a great message in that story. But there's also something else that's really cool that I think is really important for us to talk about. 2 chapters later, in Matthew 16, Jesus asks his disciples, "Who does everybody say that I am?" And so they start telling him, some people think you're Elijah, some people think you're John the Baptist. And then he says, "Okay, well, who do you think I am?" And Peter, good old Peter, says, "You are the Messiah. You are Jesus."
And
Jesus Christ.
Said yes.
And he says, "Wow, that's really cool. Because no man could have told you that, so it must have been God. It must have been the Spirit that revealed that to you." And so I think that those stories might be related. You see, because Peter was the only one that got out of the boat. Peter was the only one that walked on water, and Peter was the only one that when he was sinking, cried out to Jesus, and Jesus grabbed his hand and saved him. And so I think that that might have something to do with Peter knowing that Jesus came to save everybody, because Jesus saved him. At that time, Jesus didn't need to save any of the other disciples because they were all in the boat. Peter was the only one that needed saving. And so Peter had this really cool moment where things started to go wrong, and he cried out to Jesus, and Jesus saved him.
Click.
And only God could have been able to do that. That's a great boat. Only God could have been able to save Jesus, to save Peter. And so, in that moment, maybe Peter was able to say, "Wow, this guy's the real deal." You know, everybody saw Jesus feed the 5,000 people with the bread and the fish. Lots of people saw that. Lots of people heard Jesus speak and teach. But Peter was the only one that sunk and had Jesus save his hand.
Save his hand?
He grabbed his hand, pulled him up, and brought him in.
How?
Because he's Jesus. That's what Jesus does.
He saves people?
That's right.
That's the only thing that he does? Save people?
Well, that's the most important thing that he does, right?
Oh.
Right?
Right.
You know that.
I do not.
I think we talk about that enough. And so,
Daddy, this is my boat's number.
Very nice number.
90.
And so, we actually have the same experiences sometimes. Sometimes things go really wrong for us, right? It doesn't always work out. And in those moments, we have a chance to do the same thing that Peter did, to cry out to Jesus for help. Do you guys ever pray?
Yeah.
That's the way that we talk to Jesus and ask for help, right?
Daddy, can you pass me the marker?
And so Peter did the same thing, cried out to Jesus and asked for help, and Jesus helped him. But if we don't ever cry out to Jesus for help, we're never going to know that he can help us, right?
Right.
It's just like if you don't ask mom and dad for help, you're never going to know that we like helping you. And so Jesus loves to help. And so we need to make sure that we give him opportunities to help instead of trying to do everything ourselves all the time. So that we can realize that Jesus is who he says he is. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
The best part about Jesus being who he says he is sort of happens at Easter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so next week is Easter.
What?
This week, today is Palm Sunday.
What is Palm
And so
Sunday?
that's sort of the start of the Holy Week. That's the day that Jesus went into Jerusalem, and they laid the palm branches. They were waving the palm branches. Remember that story?
They did it.
Jesus rode on a donkey.
They did it today?
Well, this is just the day that the church celebrates that when that happened.
Are we going to celebrate it?
Yeah, and that's part of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And so in all of that, Jesus showed to everybody else he was who he said he was. When he died on the cross and he rose back from the dead.
Yeah.
And that's what we celebrate at Easter.
Look.
That's right. But before all of that happened, Peter knew. Now, Peter made some mistakes again after, and that's okay. We all keep making mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
That's right.
Every single person, except for Jesus. Wait, did Jesus make any mistakes?
No.
To God?
Jesus was perfect. No.
Wait, I thought nobody was perfect.
Exactly. Except God.
Oh.
Because God's not a person, right? God's better than a person.
God is... You can't see him.
And so,
I don't understand.
Easter is when God reveals himself to everybody. When Jesus reveals who he is to everybody, because he dies on the cross and he comes back to life. But before that happened, he revealed himself to Peter. And part of that could have been because Peter got help when he needed it most. Cool, huh? So that's our lesson. Have a look in the Bible, read that story for yourself, make some boats. They're a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah.
Try them out in a bathtub or in a sink and see how long they can float for. Let us know.
Decorate them.
You definitely can. Have a lot of fun. Enjoy Palm Sunday and the start of Holy Week, and we will see you throughout the week.
I know how to celebrate tonight.
And especially
play Pictionary
Easter Sunday.
and make some cake.
So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.